Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. All right, guys, the content that we're going to do tonight is a little different from our norm. Now, what I'm going to do tonight is give the opportunity to actually listen in an interview form to someone who testified in front of Congress for our combined gun rights. Now, this person's name is Lucretia Hughes. She went in front of Debbie Wasserman Schultz, AOC, the squad. She faced the monster and came out on the other side a rock star. I'm sure you saw the interview that was up on C-SPAN. It's going around the internet. This is a big deal because she told the very people who are trying to take the rights that we hold so dear that they weren't going to. And she is just like you and I, and this is an incredible opportunity, and I cannot wait to hear what you guys think. Now, she's involved with a program called the DC Project. That is a bunch of women across the United States who are making a difference for our Second Amendment rights. If you are involved in supporting the DC Project, if you are interested, or if you know a female or are a female who'd be interested in joining the DC Project, they are making some moves. They go to Washington all the time and they meet with lawmakers. This is something that is awesome to see, and I cannot wait to hear what you guys think of this interview. Thank you so much to Lucretia and the DC Project for facilitating this. But now, let's get into the interview. I cannot wait to hear what you guys think in the comments field below. All right, so as I said, guys, in the intro, I have got a special guest for us today. We are going to interview someone who actually went into Congress and told them what was up. It was incredible. If you guys saw it, it was available. It is making its way through conservative networks, making its way through YouTube, all the different networks. Miss Lucretia Hughes Cluckin is here with us, and she was in a testimony hearing, or providing testimony in a hearing in the House when they were passing all this omnibus stuff, all that stuff. That's who we got right now, and I am excited, and thank you for showing up, because it's amazing you're here, and that was incredible to see what you guys did.
Thank you. I like I said, it was an adrenaline rush. Holy crap, what did I just do? Yes, I did that, but I did that. Oh my God, I did that. Do you understand where I was? That's what it hit me yesterday.
Yep.
It was really great being up there. I really don't get easily intimidated by people whatsoever, but I personally know my Congressman Jody Hayes. I know Byron Donald, Congressman Donald. I know Andrew Clyde, of course. I see the arch enemies, AOC, and the squad members over there, and I was like, look at that crap. Did she get a new perm? Hey, Debbie Wasserman, look up. You hear me talking? But that was what was running through my head.
That's amazing. And so if you guys didn't happen to see that interview or that testimony, you need to go do that, see that testimony in the House. It was incredible. But I've got her here to talk about a few things. I want to ask her some questions because there's some really important takeaways that I took from that hearing that have a lot of tie-in to what we talk about a lot on this channel. So talking about you, Lucretia, you've got some amazing stuff going on. You're affiliated with the DC Project, which is why you were giving your testimony there. You were in that hearing. You've got your own Etsy shop, Fallback USA. You're involved all over the 2A. So if you have a second, kind of tell me about you, how you found your way in. What was the fight for the Second Amendment that really lit in your soul to bring you to this point? Walk me through it.
When I woke up politically, when I started really paying attention to the political arena that we call our life, and how I was raised, and paying attention to what they were saying and what they was actually doing. And I was like, whoa. And then especially when I became a conservative, and I'm gonna say it like that because I really didn't pay attention to politics, but I knew that the Democratic platform did not coexist with mine and my way of life and my morals and values. So when I started picking up books like the 5,000 Year Leap, when I started really reading the Constitution, when I was part of the Tea Party, as I'm part of the John Birch Society, the Republican Assembly, and you really start learning, because I love to learn and I love to have research and knowledge, is when I realized what they was up to. I'm learning every day, and that's what we do on my show, because we do a show nightly. It's the Real News with Lucretia Hughes. We take articles all from around the world, and if it goes against our Constitution, the way of life, or just being an American citizen, we rip them a new one because it's just not right. And we try to get people to open up their eyes and research. So the Second Amendment to me is like an extension of who we are as people. And being raised in the country, the hoods, in the woods, I was around guns all my life. And now that I know the significance of it, the importance of it, the tyranny that we are facing, the lawlessness out here, I'm not willing to let it go. It is everyone's fundamental right to protect themselves. I'm gonna stick with that.
Right. And so what you just said, you went very broad with the different applications of the history. You went broad from a standpoint of what was going on previously to lead us to this point, how your own influence into that. The big thing that you said that stuck out right there was you woke up from a standpoint of just education. Like,
Absolutely. Well,
that's a really big piece of this.
one part of my life, like I said, that's why I'm gonna keep Hughes. I could keep the rest of my old name, but I had three fathers. I was blessed. I was blessed. They want to call us numbers, but I was actually raised with three fathers. My real dad was artillery Vietnam vet. My stepfather that raised me since I was 2 years old, he was Navy Vietnam. Okay. And then the guy that was my father for the last 25 years of my life was the founding member of the Black Panther Party of the 1970s in New York City. So all of them told me and taught me about Jim Crow, about Margaret Sanger, about the past, about America, about slavery, about oppression, about segregation, all of this stuff. But my grandparents was the very first white and black interracial couple of Jackson County, Georgia, which is Commerce, in the 1960s. And they taught me about love and compassion. They taught me to shut up, sit down, and listen, because my grandmother was the babysitter for Martin Luther King, if you know what I mean. So I was raised in history to see and being able to be at this point in history to know they whitewashing it and they going over it and they trying to change it. So like I said, I'm a mother of four and I'm a grandmother of 9. And I know it is my job and my command from my God Almighty is to get out there and you witness and you testify, because that's all we have as human beings and as souls. Is the only thing we have is our word in our mouth. And if people cannot believe what we got to say, then and you don't have knowledge and facts to back you up, no one is going to listen.
That's one of the things that's so crucial about what we talk about on my channel all the time is a lot of the stuff that we dive into is, yes, we'll talk about the news, we'll talk about the political direction of things, but we also bring in, no, that they're not presenting this in a correct way. Here's the proper information to say why this is not correct. So when that conversation comes up, you can have it. And that's a huge piece. And so now kind of going into the next part, something that you mentioned in your testimony for Congress, which was, in my opinion, was one of the most impactful pieces. You mentioned that you had a son that was a victim of a tragic circumstance, right?
His name was Emmanuel.
Yeah, Emmanuel. So one of the things that really struck me about that story that you shared, you have a very similar story to House Representative Lucy McBath. So Lucy McBath also had a very similar circumstance. She chose to align with Moms Demand Action, and she went after the gun control aspect. Why did you choose to support the Second Amendment and rebuke gun control? Because the initial catalyst was very similar. And that's one of the things that really stuck out to me.
I didn't pursue it. I guess God, you know how you just, I don't know, happenstance. I don't know. I just know it was wrong. And I just started talking about it. And this is to me how it all started, especially with the NRA. My stepfather, when I just said, Papa Scott is what we called him, and he was a drug counselor. And he had passed away from a heart attack at a bowling alley because he counseled drug addicts. So he did what he loved. The very next day, the NRA was in Atlanta, Georgia. And we used to always go back and forth because I'm the only conservative Republican in my family that was political. And he's the militant, but he loved me. Mm-hmm. So after he passed away, the NRA was coming to Atlanta, and I got invited. And I don't know how I got invited. I don't care anymore. But I wasn't going to go because I just didn't feel like I belonged there. And I had my family push me to go there. So there's this short man named Wayne LaPierre. Didn't know who he was at that time. And I'm walking around just talking to people. And I walk up to him and somebody said, I give you $10 if you walk up to that man and talk to him. He said, number one, who are you? I said, a country girl from Georgia. He said, no, you're somebody powerful if you here by yourself and you don't care about who these people. He said, just go talk to him. I said, I did. Within 2 minutes of me talking, he pulled out his pen and said, here's my personal cell phone number. I want to work with you. You're someone and your story is so powerful. You could change a whole bunch of people's lives and get them to wake up. So was it happenstance? I have no idea. So the answer to that one, I don't know. I have no idea. I just know what I know, and I know where to find it. And I have been giving these out over 6,000 times. The only thing I ask people to do is get in my inbox on Facebook. Just give me your address and you have a free constitution. No ifs, ands, or buts. I don't care what color you are. I don't care if you're independent. I don't care if you're a constitutionalist, a Democrat, or Republican. These are your rights too. And as I'm doing this, I'm picking up the book and I'm opening it too. Because I love knowledge and I love to read. I don't watch TV and I haven't had TV on in my house in 7 full years. I would rather have that knowledge. They could take away everything, your money. They could take away your power. They could take away your house, your ways of walking or going to work. But they can never take the knowledge that you instill upon yourself with the facts that you can back up. So I say, tell people like Neil Bortz, and also Neil Bortz used to say, you do your own research. I don't know what you pissed at, but you're not pissed at me because I'm not making those laws.
And the thing that I get asked all the time is, where do I start and how did you take your first steps? So with you, I mean, you have a unique story you just shared with us, but you ended up, and well, actually, let me rephrase that. You didn't end up. The most recent step in your journey, you were testifying in front of Congress. What was the first step? Like, I know that you covered the knowledge, you covered the waking up, but what was that first step where you said, it's me, it's now or never? Like, what was that for you?
You ready for this? Berkeley University, the day after Trump was elected, was the last day that I watched television. I was laying in bed because I had a Trump bumper sticker on the back of my car, which means I live in Atlanta. So, it was I'm going to shoot a bird at her. I'm going to call her out her name. She's a Trumpster. I went through all that. I didn't leave my house for 5 days. So when I turned on Fox News and I'm sitting there looking at Berkeley, I said, you got to be, God, what am I going to do with this? I'm so sick of this crap. What am I going to do, God? This can't keep going on. I made a whole Facebook post. Facebook tell you what you did at a certain time. That was my pivotal turning point. So the first opportunity that I got was the veterans, the bikers, and the truckers rally that was going on in Washington, D.C. I said, if I don't make a stand now, I'm never going to make a stand. So I asked my mom, I asked everybody in my family, will y'all drive and ride to Washington with me? I got to be there. Everything in me said, you got to be there. I'm a black chick going to drive to Washington. But okay, I'm doing it. So my mom painted my car windows, and I'm going up 85. And I'm looking at these overpass. And there was flags flying everywhere. People just waving. There was truckers that had the signs on their trucks. I said, this is real. I said, this is real. People feel like I feel. Holy crap, there's love in America. And it started there. And I haven't stopped. I have not stopped. I hold rallies at our house. And in July, we're going to have another Faith Over Fear rally, where last year in September, we had 350 people show up at our house. We had the Jeremy Harrells, the Bryson, we had artists, we have politicians, we have ministers. 3 people gave their lives over. Do you know what it means and how it feels to be around like-minded individuals? That energy and knowing that other people are fighting will make you fight even more and stand up. That's what it means as MAGA. That's what it means as being a patriot. That's what it means by loving people just like you will love yourself. So this year, I want to have one of the biggest rallies. I don't care how they want to take it. We can add election integrity. I will reach out to the NRA or the Georgia Gun Association, say, do you want a booth here? It's free. Get your pamphlets, get out here and talk to these people. We'll have bounce houses. I like it to call it a big ass cookout because I do all the cooking. I do the macaroni and cheese from scratch. You're going to get leg quarters. You're going to get baked beans, coleslaw, potato salad, I do the country cookout rally here at my house because I want people to know, no matter who you are. We had the surfing rabbi come all the way from California and live and stay. He took over my damn room. Can I tell you? And smoke all my cigars. I'm like, you a rabbi. Why you hitting on that woman and smoking a cigar? Okay, surfer. No wonder you ain't in that, but that was neither here nor there. What goes on in my property stays here. And the undercover police and people be coming here, red, yellow, black, white, gay and straight, and just being around regular people and being able to network and learn about the 2A, learn about the Constitution, get love, get God. And that's what it is. This is America, baby. And I can't debate with anyone that don't feel this positive, this love and this energy for our nation. And if we don't move this, what we're feeling right now, the positive, we're going to miss it. And right now we got to do it. Because if not, like you said, I'm older now, I'm 47. My two daughters haven't started birthing babies yet. I'm going to have a whole football team. But also for you and what your ancestors, what your grandmothers, your parents taught you, you inbred that and you indoctrinate your own children so they could continue even after you're gone. Your grandchildren are going to know and pull up your name, sir. They're going to pull up your wife's name for what you've done. Each and every last citizen, no matter where you come from any walk of life, this is your destiny. This is your legacy. This is your home, and this is your land. We was built on blood, sweat, and tears, and those people died for us. I don't want to disappoint them, and we all going to have to take account for what we do. So one day, I want to hear well done, and I pray that I never have to pull a trigger. But I'll tell you this, I would rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
All right, how great was that? Now that was Lucretia Hughes with the DC Project. Thank you to both Lucretia and the DC Project for facilitating this interview. If you guys are interested, make sure you check out the DC Project, and I will see you on the next video. I'm Braden, signing out.